Hello, YouTube land. Hi guys. I am here with my grandparents, my grandma, and my grandpa. They are here for us, and I'm gonna ask them a few questions. Some questions you guys sent in, some questions I got for myself. We're just gonna give this a little interview. It'll be kind of interview sort of deal, but really just to sit down and talk. And I have some questions to ask you guys, so I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There you go. Let's go. All right. So the first question, and whoever wants to go first, but what is the best piece of advice that you have ever been given?
Well, my parents always thought that hard work and having a positive attitude about yourself, mainly about yourself, believing in yourself, and having a positive attitude. You know, you can overcome obstacles, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve in life. But remembering all, they also gave us advice that the main thing in our lives would be to believe in the Lord. Always to believe in the Lord. Because you can accomplish a lot of things in life and by yourself. You know, God has given us abilities and talents and all that, but all in all, we need a supreme being to guide us and direct us in the correct way. There's been a lot of people who have been successful, and they start being successful and then they fall. And the reason they fall is because they don't have a foundation in the Lord. Yeah. And I really believe that was the main thing that my parents instilled in me, was to believe in myself, but most of all to believe in Christ and to think positive always.
Yeah. Cool.
I think I go off along with her. Our parents have always been believing in God and helping us to better ourselves through life. And you have a better chance of getting through life, believing in God and asking Him for advice.
For guidance, yeah.
For guidance.
Advice, yeah. No, yeah.
And I believe that's the only advice that I could give to my children.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. So, second question here. How was life growing up for y'all?
I personally had a fantastic life. Our parents were very poor. You know, my dad was a tile setter, my mom was a homemaker. There was 9 of us in the family, so it was very hard for my dad to, keep food on the table. Yeah. But from the beginning, I was blessed with friends. I had, when I was young, as a child, growing up in school, at first I was bullied around. I was bullied because, my parents did not have any money. We were poor. Yeah. And so we were bullied. I was bullied. But even at that age, I stood up for myself. I stood up and I defended myself. I didn't let anybody put me down, even as a child. So I remember when I was in kinder, I pulled this little girl's hair and threw her down on the floor because, her friends and her were laughing at me. So after that, they never bothered me, and they always wanted, to know me and everything. And since then, I was blessed with friends. So I think my life was surrounded with good friends. I had good parents and good siblings. I was the oldest one in the family, but I was 6 years older than my brother. At that point, they looked up to me, even though I was not, 9 years old. Yeah. My little brothers and sisters would look up to me. Yeah. So I felt kind of like responsible for them. And I always felt like I had to be a good example. Yeah. A good example. And my dad would always instill that in me. to put a good example for the rest of my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. Grandpa?
What was the question?
How was life growing up for you?
It's been okay. Through life,
Mhm.
we were six. 6 girls and three boys.
Okay.
I was the one in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And through life, well, when I got to be a teenager,
Yeah.
I got into a lot of trouble. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I gave a lot of trouble to my mom, to my dad.
Yeah.
But after a year or so, then I got to thinking, I knew that I had to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working, and then I started behaving,
Yeah.
and I did good,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to God. But I stopped getting into trouble,
Yeah.
and God has been good to me. I found I've been stay working here and there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and so I think I'm up there where
Yeah.
I should be.
That's good, Grandpa. Just to circle back to that, the bowling stuff. I mean, for kids that are actually like going through that, and maybe they don't have a lot of friends. Like, what would you tell that kid or those kids?
A lot of kids, it's how they live at home.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids that go to school that are not happy kids.
Yeah.
And the reason they're not happy kids because they don't have a happy home. They don't have parents that really nurture them
Mm-hmm.
or guide them or whatever. A lot of parents just let their kids grow up like little weeds out in the garden, and there's no guidance. And so when they go to school, they don't have this believing in themselves or liking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're not, because they really don't like themselves or like their lives, it shows. It shows, outwardly.
Yeah.
And so a lot of kids pick on that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids, they see that.
Yeah.
They see some, child being, shy or keeping away from the crowds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand that a lot of these kids are going through stuff at school.
Yeah.
I mean, at home.
Yeah.
And they take their problems to school and they don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I think bullying, I feel sorry for the person that's doing the bullying.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because I feel more sorry for them
Mm-hmm.
being, the person that's doing the bullying than I do the victim. Because these kids, they don't have any belief in themselves. They're really calling out for help.
Yeah.
And the way they do that is by being assertive, by being aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's how they show, how they want to get attention.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting attention, and the way they get attention is by being a bully.
Mm-hmm.
And having everybody, be on their side and laugh, laugh when they laugh and do what they do. But, at the end, they're very miserable people.
Yeah.
If they do not change their ways, they're very miserable. And the victim, even though, they go through a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
They become stronger.
Yeah.
They become stronger. And so I feel sorry for the one that's doing the bullying.
Yeah.
I really do, more than the victim.
Okay.
Because, like I said, these people are calling out for attention that they would never get
Mm-hmm.
if they were not doing bullying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right on that, Grandma. All right. This is a question for both of you guys, and so there's two questions about it. But So the first one is, what has been the secret to having a long marriage? You guys have been married a very long time. But also the second question to that is, how did you all meet? So if you kind of want to throw that in first, how did you all meet? And then what is the secret to having that long of a marriage that you guys have had?
We met in I was in high school.
Okay.
Your grandpa had dropped out of school. He never really liked school, so he had dropped out of school, and I met him when I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And so we dated junior and senior year. We dated, and then I said, "Wow, after 2 years of being girlfriend and boyfriend, I mean, there's got to be something more than just that."
Yeah.
So I kind of talked to him and I said, where is this going? Either we make a commitment or you let me go, because, there's a lot of fish out in the sea.
Yeah.
I said, if you're not serious about, spending our life together, I mean, let's end it now, and, let's each go our own way.
Yeah.
And so he decided, and we both decided that, we did love each other enough to get married. So we got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were engaged for 2 years. And then after that, I said, wait a minute. I said, we're not going to be engaged for 2 years forever.
Yeah.
I said, hey, let's take it to the next level,
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, look, you don't have a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to have a good job so that you can support, we don't want to, have our parents, give us handouts or whatever.
Yeah.
I said, what we want to do is we want to be, on our own, completely on our own, not be dependent on anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good job. He was working in a cafeteria. And so we said, okay, let's work on you getting a better job.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked into it, and I told him, the best thing is to get civil service.
Yeah.
Get into civil service. He didn't have, an education or anything that he could fall back to, but I said, there must be,
Something.
some kind of job out
Fine.
there,
Yeah.
So, but he needed his citizenship.
Okay.
So we worked on that. He got his citizenship. We worked together, every night, right? With the questions and answers. And,
Yeah, that's cool.
So he became a citizen, and then he went and he looked into it, applied, and he got a civil service job.
Yeah.
And so he was having it kind of rough at home because his parents didn't want him to leave because there was money that was not going to be coming into the house.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're going to set a date.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so we figured 2 months would be enough
Time to figure stuff out.
Yeah, for us to plan our wedding, a quick wedding,
Yeah.
and my parents expected me to give a good example to my siblings. So
Yeah.
that's what we did. We saved up like 2-3 paychecks, and with my dad's help, his dad's help,
Yeah.
we got married. We had a nice wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been married, 58, 56 years? Yeah, 56 years.
Wow.
But
that's
we
amazing.
had- Before I asked her to,
It's married.
and I went to her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he said no.
He said
No.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Because we were too young.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good job, which was true.
Uh-huh.
But after I got to study for my citizenship,
Your citizenship. Yeah.
and I got this job for civil service,
Yeah.
then I went back.
That's awesome.
I went
And
back again and asked him for her hand,
he said yes.
and then he said
Wow,
yes.
that's amazing.
I
didn't
had
know
to
that.
show something
Uh-huh.
in order for him to say yes.
Yeah. That's funny, Grandpa.
And then,
Uh-huh.
I worked for civil service. She was working too.
Mm-hmm.
So between her check and my check,
You guys
we did pretty good.
made it pretty good. Yeah.
And I have to say one thing is that Marriage is a commitment.
Mhm.
It's a commitment that you make to each other. If you really love each other, you commit.
Mhm.
And the way you commit is you make it, number one, you make it, with the Lord.
Mhm.
That's the best thing. And then you make it legal. You make it legal to where, you are one person.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have changed. A lot of ways
Yeah.
from the ways that we used to do things.
Uh-huh.
And people live together. They live together and all that. To some extent, as the years go by and as, more modern things come up and new technology and new this, people tend to go that way.
Mhm.
But the old ways are the best ways. We have, couples that have been married, a long time, they have raised their children, and so we hope that our children, our great-grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren,
Yeah.
that they follow that pattern, that they bring up their children in a good marriage, And I'm not going to say that him and I, we were just perfect. No, I threw him out of the house several times, threw his things out of, and he came, all boozed up once in a while, and it hasn't been easy. It has not been
Yeah.
easy. But we have learned to work out the things. We have learned to work things out.
Yeah.
And once you have children,
Mhm.
it changes the whole thing. Because when it's just you and him, it's okay. Everything goes. But once you have children, it's going to affect your children.
Yeah.
It's going to affect your children, and it's going to, their lives. That's why there's a lot of messed up kids out in the world. A lot of kids. We worked at a children's home where, we saw a lot of children that would be placed there for several reasons, and a lot of I would say 97% of the time, it was the parents. It was the parents. The
Yeah.
parents didn't give them either enough love, enough guidance.
Uh-huh.
They didn't make a good home for them. They just thought of themselves very selfish couples. I can't say that has to stop because, things have gone so bad nowadays that,
Yeah.
people don't want to know anymore. They don't want to know good stuff. They just want to know, I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm, of age. I
Yeah.
can do whatever I want. But
Uh-huh.
in the long run, I think that's a negative thing for them.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like that. Just to jump back to what you said earlier about, how marriage being a commitment and everything. So how do you get through, like you said, you guys had those arguments and just butting heads or something like that. Like, how do you really get through that? Like, do you guys sit down and talk to each other? Do you just let it fizzle out? Or how do you go about that?
You
Or is it-
know,
or
Once in a while,
Uh-huh.
before, we wouldn't, like, I have a temper,
Uh-huh.
and she used to tell me, you don't let me speak out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a commitment for me and God
Mm-hmm. To listen.
to listen.
Okay.
So now that I'm listening, we take it easy and
Uh-huh. So you guys can better
we
communicate with each
kinda-
other.
Yeah, we're gonna communicate with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
but we went through a lot of hurts.
Mm-hmm.
All this that you say, I'll get even with you.
Uh-huh.
You did this to me and you did that to me, and you know what? I'm gonna get even. And that attitude, I had that attitude. I wanted to pay back for a lot of the hurt that was,
Done to you. Yeah.
that was done to me.
Uh-huh.
Did not have Christ all my life. So I did a lot of things, that were not right, I would go out with my friends. I would, not come home after work and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we learned. We were Nacho and I. We were never able to sit down and talk. Never.
Mhm.
We would always try to sit down and talk, but it would
End up just.
blow up.
Yeah.
It would blow up because he wants to be right, I want to be right, and we both can be right,
Yeah.
And of course we're going to see things a different way.
Mhm.
So, but I think communication is the best thing.
Yeah.
Communication, number one.
Mhm.
Communication. If there's no communication between couples, you don't have a relationship. You
Yeah.
don't. There's got to be a way of communicating. That's very important.
And being honest with each other. And just.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Uh-huh. Makes sense.
That's the only way to make every year
Uh-huh.
count.
Every year, yeah. That's
Stay
awesome.
alive one more day.
Stay alive. All right, cool guys. So we'll wrap it up. But last question is to the young generation. If you can give, just your best piece of advice to the younger generation, which you probably guys already did, but just to reiterate all of it, people that are growing up now, maybe teenagers, like what's the best piece of advice you can give them about life?
You want to go first?
You go first.
The best advice that I can
Oh,
give is the young people.
Uh-huh.
Life is short. Life is very short. Before you know it, you get from teenager all the way to, and a young adult, to middle age, to old age. So have fun. Have fun, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Enjoy life to the fullest in a good way. In a good way. You can have a lot of fun doing things without drugs, without getting high in anything, alcohol, anything like that. You can have fun. There's a lot of things you can do. Socializing, dancing, cookouts,
Mhm.
At the beach, or, trips. Camping. There's a lot of things that young people can do. We lived in New Braunfels, Texas, and they have the Schlitterbahn, and they have the rivers, and
Yeah.
I see these young kids, young people
Uh-huh.
out on the river
Yeah.
with their tires and enjoying life.
Yeah.
And they have their six pack of beer, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Uh-huh.
you know what? They're having clean fun.
Mhm.
They're having good fun.
Yeah.
And I think that if you don't enjoy life,
Mhm.
then we've missed it, because God gave us, He says He came to give us life,
Yeah.
and life more abundantly.
Mhm.
Abundance in everything, in joy and peace and all that. We just have to receive it. And a lot of people do not know how to receive and have fun.
Yeah.
But all throughout my life, I was so blessed with good friends.
Mhm.
I was blessed with fun, with boyfriends, with
Yeah.
doing a lot of fun things, going to games, quinceañeras, weddings. You call it, you name it, huh?
Yeah.
And we used to do it together, because
Yeah.
we were young, and we went to Juarez, and we went
Yeah, you
dancing to Juarez, and
Mhm.
when it was safe
Yeah.
back then. And so we had a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
used to hang around with good people, and and we enjoyed life.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll still continue to enjoy life.
You will.
Yeah, I
will.
like
But
traveling.
really,
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And Grandpa, you have anything to?
the only
Uh-huh.
the only advice I would say is to enjoy life while you have it, because we
Mhm.
don't know if we're here today and tomorrow we're gone. So you
Yeah.
gotta live it up, have fun, and enjoy
Mhm.
yourself before
Yeah.
you get to the point where you get married,
Yeah.
or even if you don't get married,
Mhm.
there's a lot of fun you can have while you're young.
Yeah.
When you're old, yeah.
Everything creeps up.
Everything.
You can't walk long distance. You
You have to be with a doctor.
you can't
Yeah.
eat ice cream and cake.
Yeah.
You have doctor's appointments. Huh?
Yeah.
That's
So-
funny. Yeah.
Losing your eyes,
Oh my gosh.
losing your.
You guys.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you better have fun and enjoy life while
Mhm.
still young.
We still have it. Yeah.
What I would advise to the young
Young generation.
generation.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandpa. I love you guys both.
We love you too. We're so
I love
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
We're
Yeah.
very proud of you that you are who you are. That you're, you know, first of all, you put God in your life first.
Mhm.
You know, and that another thing that I want to say is that every man out there, and I hope that you will listen to what I'm going to say. Nobody likes a lazy man. Nobody likes a lazy man, and a lazy man does not get anywhere. You have to be hardworking. Hardworking at, you know, at your job, hardworking everywhere. Be on the go all the time. And I like that about you, Bruce, that, you know, you're hardworking, you know, you follow the Lord, and you have a good heart. So, my advice is that for you ladies, young ladies out there that are thinking of, you know, of getting married, make sure that your man is a hardworking man. Because if he's not a hardworking man, you know what? You'll never be happy. You get a man that just sits and gets the remote and sits on his butt watching TV all day. No, don't do that. Don't marry that creep, because you'll never get anywhere. You'll never get anywhere. So you young men that are the breadwinners, go out there, be hardworking, be honest, and you'll get places.
Thank you, Grandma.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you guys next time. Again, my grandma, grandpa, love you guys. Thank you,
Bye.
and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye.